Hello everyone, it's QuestQuenchers here today, and I've just woke up with an opinion. Is live game service that bad? The answer is yes. It doesn't seem like a good idea to me to keep on with all these live services come out, especially when they're basically just the same thing. I don't get it. Where's the imagination? It's just like I'm seeing all these things. Like the Marvel one. It's just like why? Why? This is just a third-person Overwatch game. Looks exactly the same to, like, even the powers. I'm like, you've got to be infringing on some copyright here. Unless it's by the same people who produced that. And then we've also got, like, the same thing with the Concord and stuff. And that's a live service game. And it's just like, why? Why do we want to keep with the lives? I know that it makes money and all that stuff, but gosh, have some imagination, have some creativity. Like, it just looks boring. And, you know, Concord looks like the Destiny PvP that I've seen. I used to play that a lot. Well, that was fun. But then it got really bad really quickly. So it's like, yeah, it's just, the whole thing is just to keep getting more money off you without putting, it feels like, the correct amount of effort in. And it's not a nice time, really. I know, like, the economy is crazy, but, like, and you've got to, you've got to make some money. But this would be the perfect time to make some really cool single-player games that have a compelling story that is just nice to watch. I mean, nice to watch and play, and have some cool moments and cool combat, and and it's something you can play. Even maybe you might make it slightly online by having like you can play with a friend over the live service kind of thing, like Xbox Live or whatever it is now, kind of thing. And just maybe having it drop in drop out kind of play, like Gears of War 1 and its single player slash co-op. That was fun, drop in drop out. Although I think that got like changed in the Ultimate Edition, I think, because before, if someone quits out, it would just quit the game completely, and you're just like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, not quit the game, but it's like you go back to menu because someone left. Either way, I think it's just the audience doesn't want this. By my watching videos around the internet, people are not excited for this kind of thing. And the only people that are excited, that are, addicted to the live surface model, like, they keep on getting new skins, buying new skins, because they're addicted to buying new skins and they want to look good to everyone. So it's not a really good thing, really. It's like FOMO. It's definitely the fear of missing out is such a bad thing, and such a bad thing for mental health. I think it needs to be changed in a way. These kind of live surface games need to be, looked at a bit closer and be like, is this really good for people? They're spending a lot of time on it, and if they are losing a lot of money and spending a lot of money on this game, it's perhaps not a good thing for them, unless they're, like a whale. But I think it's, for the industry, there's too many. There's just absolutely too many. And seeing like certain people cover certain topics, like apparently, what do you call it? The Marathon is looking to be a hero shooter. Then you've got Concord, then you've got the Marvels, and that's just like, there's too many. You're all competing with each other in the same market. And yeah, there's some little games here and there, mainly just like knockoffs of like Elden Ring and stuff. And it's like, yeah, a lot of people can't compete with Elden Ring and stuff like that. But at the same time, probably making something, different, instead of always trying to be in that weird realm that Elden Ring covers and the From Software games cover. Maybe do something else, from a different angle. It's just like there's so many gaps I can see where you could place yourself to tell like a compelling story, maybe about the human condition in some way. But a lot of people ain't doing it, and it's just a bit boring. Just playing live service games are just not for me. And seeing that like the Space Marine kind of game is, is a live service just makes me not want to buy it even more. Especially like with all these different kind of prices. It's another rant this is. I'm just sick and tired of live service games. Even Helldivers seems to be grating on me. Like, I'm playing it, it's fun, but it's so full of bugs, there's different things, and it's just like, it's not compelling anymore. So they're probably going to bring out, the new bad guys soon, because it's getting really repetitive and really boring already. And that's the issue with, live service games. If they come out and they have these things already, and it gets boring quickly. Whereas like single player games, yeah, once you complete it, you don't really go, you're like, wow, that's great. But if it's like an action adventure that has maybe like a few different endings and stuff, it'll get like the playtime and stuff. People will keep playing it. They'll go back and say, oh, I've got to make different choices and stuff like that. Like, just having a game that has 3 endings is pretty cool. Like, I've been playing some like Fallout New Vegas, which has it doesn't have like many endings, but it still feels nice and different. And then same with Fallout 3, it doesn't, there are different endings. Like, you can send different people into the whatever, and it just feels different. It feels nice, and I'm like, it's been such a long time since I've played these games, and it's somehow these old games are more refreshing than the new games. It's a bit silly, considering I have played Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, like a million billion times, yet somehow I felt that freshness. And it's like, it's probably only been a few months since I last played them, and yet they still got that nice feeling of freshness. So yeah, it's not a good time really in gaming when it comes to games itself. Like, a live service games, you just run out of ideas, or you just we can blatantly see that they're just after money instead of like these cool new ideas. They just want, we want want to be the next Overwatch. We want to capture all this money and all this, and stuff, and have loot boxes, which hopefully they've learned the lesson that they can't have that. It has to be, you have to clearly show what you get in when you buy something. I think loot boxes are terrible, and I think they have been, kind of like outlawed. So if they're in games, people ain't gonna be impressed, kind of thing. Which I'm glad. It should have never been a thing in the first place. To be like, hey, let's get a loot box, see what I can randomly get. I really don't like that aspect. I think it should be, hey, this is what you get. Pay this for it, or don't. But still, like, I don't like that. Once you buy a game, you should be, what happened to the days where I remember playing, I think it was Gears of War 3, and you unlocked characters by, playing certain things and getting achievements or leveling up, and you get to a point where you're like, oh, I want to get to level 5. I'll try and get to level 5 tonight on like multiplayer and stuff. Oh yeah, I'm gonna play, and then you get it. And then you unlock like Cold Train or something. You're like, yes, I'm gonna be playing with this dude for the next 5 minutes. Next 5 minutes, the next time you play some multiplayer or horde mode and stuff, and that stuff, I spent so many hours within Gears of War, 2 and 3, and their horde mode, unlocking the characters, and yet when you're done, you still want to play it because you really enjoy the, just the horde mode and playing with friends that you've, gained across, playing through the internet and stuff. It's great. Whereas I think live services are just like more, toxic, more grindy. It's not fun, and you tend to just have your microphone off and everyone else muted if they have a microphone on. Whereas back in the day, leveling up and, achieving objectives, like in Horde and stuff, well, by surviving, it was much more fun. And the multiplayer was fun too. It wasn't so bad, but that just might be, back in the day when people, when this was relatively new, and they still, they can't figure out how to censor things properly. I find that so funny when it comes to like language and, being, not very nice to each other. They can't figure it out and how to figure it out. But then again, I just mute all the things anyway. So it kind of, the live service isn't doing what the live services used to do. Like, they used to bring people together and, you know, make a community and have fun. But now it's more or less just like, oh, I don't want to get violently destroyed by a person who grinds this game all the time because it takes the fun out of it. You know, we're all getting old, so it's not, you know, our reflexes aren't that fast, and you know, compared to like a 20-year-old now. That is just, yeah. I think it's, I just miss the days where there was just a really good story, a really cool concept, really cool mechanics and stuff in a single player game, or a, you know, couch co-op or co-op over online and stuff. I miss that time a lot, and no one is providing that kind of experience. And when they are trying to provide that experience, it's really like, there's not much character development. It's all about a message, which is just like crap, because you forget about what a story is meant to be. You know, it's meant to be more about the universe that these characters are within and what they get up to and how they survive or whatever. But it's more about our real world messaging, which is not nice, because the whole point of playing games, you know, back in my day, was escaping reality for like, you know, a few minutes, you know, a little while. But now it's just like, oh, you've got to be constantly reminded about all the problems of the modern day and stuff like that, and people's issues. Whereas before, like, what was the modern day issues in Gears of War 2? There was none. It was about these characters surviving. You know, I think we've forgotten what a good story means. And, you know, when it comes to like, you know, other worlds, you know, the imaginary things we make don't have to include things from our reality. And I think people forgot that. And the more people brought in like issues within, you know, the world's reality, the more it becomes really cool. You know, so, you know, like, you know, Gears of War, like I said, just surviving against the Locusts, there was no, you know, real world problems or anything. It was just these group of humans trying to survive, and that's all you felt. You know, you were like, oh, I really like these characters, and they talk like this and that and the other, and it was really cool because they didn't concern themselves with our reality, you know, with the human life and stuff like that, our lives, like people in real life. There was no concept of those real life issues, but nowadays it's all about that kind of thing, and you know, they really ruin the whole stories within that stuff. Like a big example was with, you know, Gears of War 5 and stuff like that. It really made no sense how Kate Diaz could, you know, insult all these senior officers and, you know, get no punishment, and, you know, and turn just really crazy on people. And it wasn't nice. It was just like, wait a minute. If someone else did this, it would have been good. This makes no sense within the story. She's defied an officer and, you know, a commander kind of thing. I know, like, JD is higher up in the thing when she goes off on one. And I'm like, wait a minute. If she's defying orders, what did Marcus Phoenix do? He defied orders to go and save his dad. And Kate Diaz is trying to do, you know, defy orders by just trying to find out what's wrong with her. You know, doesn't the Gears of War universe have psychiatric help at all? It's like, what's going on? So yeah, she apparently can just go off, you know, AWOL, and her mate can go with her, and apparently it's all fine, whilst all the Gears are doing their duty and getting killed, and she's not court-martialed or anything. So yeah, that doesn't make sense within that universe. So that's, you know, that's why it kind of lost me. And, you know, people say, oh, it's because you're playing as a girl. It's like, no, no. When I played with sort of Gears of War 3 with me dad, it was more like, you know, you know, I was the second player because he was the first player. And so I think you know, after, yeah, spoilers for Gears of War 3, after Dom died, you played as Anya, I think. I can't recall properly, but I remember playing as Anya, and didn't bat an eyelid, didn't have an issue with it, because it was just like, these characters are trying to survive regardless of what, if you're a woman or a man or whatever, and it was really fun. And that's just the stuff that I wanted, because it didn't matter if, about being a woman, being a man, being whatever. It was all about surviving within this against the Locust and trying to get humanity back on track by defeating the Locust and finding, Marcus Phoenix's dad. And that was the story. That was the greatness about the story, and nothing about our reality, which I think a lot of story people who make stories, writers, kind of thing, have forgotten. And they're incorporating too much stuff of our reality within what they make. Whereas I think, probably the best thing is to, just make an entirely different universe with its own problems, and have a little fun and escape into that reality. That's the whole point of entertainment, isn't it? Escape from what's annoying you in your reality, go to another reality and have fun, and that's not a bad thing. It's just fun. It's what people do for entertainment, but they're making it a weird issue. Anyway, I don't know what this video is about. It's just a quick rant. I just really want to have a fun time in games. And it seems to be like the live service games are not working, but they're all they're all that's been kind of made, and the most popular things to make money. So more effort is being put into them things than other things. And I feel like development of something that could be a great, like Marathon, has been kind of taken away. The last thing I want Marathon to be is a hero shooter. I don't like hero shooters, but there's all, if you want to go and shoot things, it's all you can do. So yeah, I just go back and like play Fallout 4 for my shooting experience, or a bit of Starfield just to shoot something and be like, yeah, I'm satisfied with that. Let's go play some third-person action game, something, action-adventure game. Maybe play a little bit of Fallout 3 or New Vegas. Some adventure. I've even downloaded Elix 2 again just for the little time. But yeah, it's just, gaming isn't really doing it, and I feel like it's rubbing the channel the wrong way. And I really don't like it doing that. But I am holding out for, some games getting good. People recognizing that you don't want to be bombarded with people's agendas and messages. We just want to have fun within a different world that has different rules and different issues, like survival against the Locust, or, it's just a little bit of fun to get away from the weird stuff that's happening in our world. It's just, some companies are catching on, like, yeah, people don't want to know about our activism or our stuff like that. And if we keep doing this, we're just going to lose our fan base, and we're going to lose money, and we're all about money, So, yeah, I don't know if this video is gonna get out there. It's probably gonna be horribly disliked. But still, it's just, I just want to have fun. I forgot, it's been a while since I've had fun in a game that didn't have anything, weird or was written well and had proper story and made sense within the world that it created to make sense, and had a proper story, proper lore things and stuff like that. I haven't seen any of that since like Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 4 was crap. No offense, Bethesda. And all the Fallout 76 was terrible. And then like, oh, Anthem, looks cool. Gameplay looks cool. Yep, it was terrible. And it just keeps going on and on. And, there's been so many terrible games and failures recently that it's led to, like, closures of places. Because, yeah, it would do if they're producing terrible games, yeah, but it's a shame to see all that talent and the brand and stuff like that has so much, weight behind it disappear because of terrible decisions in the executives and stuff to make live service games instead of focusing on stories, proper stories with proper meaning and cool stuff relevant to that universe, and not sharing any similarities to our universe. That's the whole point of stories. You know, that's why people read books, because they want to be taken somewhere else and have an interesting time in a different world. You know, so yeah, this is I don't know what the point of this video is. It's just a rant about live service games and the really terrible written games. You know, it's just like, listen, make a really cool world, focus on the issues within that world, don't put any our world in it, and you will do great. You will do fantastically. And you know, do that and you will get a ton of money. So yeah, that's my video. I've just woken up with this idea. So yeah, probably gotta get demonetized. Anyway. Alright, take care guys. I hope you have fun with whatever you play. And if live service games are that, more power to you. And you know, but for me, nope, I don't want to be doing it anymore. Alright, that's it. Goodbye.